This is Dr. James with HelpMommy.com, and this is video 4 of 5 about a 4-month-old. And let's talk about the developmental milestones that we see at this age. So a 4-month-old should definitely have a social smile, and they're pretty toothy with it, if they had a tooth. So you're going to see a lot more smiling. The other thing that we start to see at 4 months is laughing, and it varies baby to baby. To be honest, I have never had a baby that I have flagged as developmentally delayed if they didn't smile or they didn't laugh. People have different things that make them happy. Babies do too. We have people that are easy to laugh and we have people that are pretty stoic. Babies can be that way too. And so it's not something that we worry about if they don't. It's just something that this is the age where it usually begins. This is when babies really start to develop their personalities. You start to see what they're like. I like to tell parents that, if you have a happy baby at this age, this is usually going to be a happy person. If you kind of have a dull baby, they may be a dull person. If you have an angry baby, they may be an angry person. This is when you start to see their personality come out and they really start coming into their own. It's a fun age. They're also very interactive. They start making noises. There's a lot more cooing and gooing and just interacting with you. This is when they're reaching out to you, they're grabbing fingers. They developmentally, they just want to put everything in their mouth. You're going to see a baby that's chewing a lot and drooling a lot. And this is completely normal. This does not necessarily mean that they're teething at all. Babies at 4 months just naturally produce a lot of drool. They just don't know what to do with it, and so it just comes out. The way they are constantly putting things in their mouth because they're determining the texture and shape that way. So lots of stuff like that. They're going to be flinging their arms around. They're going to be trying to learn to grab things. And of course, when they grab things, everything is going to be coming to their mouth. This is when they start pushing up more. They get very curious. A lot of times they don't like lying flat down anymore because they can't see everything. They are very nosy. They're looking all around. They're checking out their environment. There are certain things they shouldn't do anymore. That startle reflex should be starting to go away. They shouldn't be crossing their eyes randomly anymore. If you see that, that's something that you want to tell your doctor about. Now, if you did something to cross their eyes, that's okay. But if they're randomly just turning an eye in or going out or something like that, let us know, because sometimes that can happen intermittently. We may not see that in the physical exam, but that's something that we want to get taken care of. This is when babies just become more fun. They're not just lumps that just want to eat and pee and poop and cry. This is a baby that wants to look around, wants to interact with their environment, and wants to interact with you. You need to be sitting there talking to them. They need to start hearing words. They need to see your emotions. They need to watch how your face moves while you talk. And this is just a great time to do this. Of course, we talked about that this is when we're introducing foods, solid foods. This is when stooling can change. There's just a lot of things going on, but this is just a really enjoyable time where you should really start enjoying your baby. This is also when babies, a lot of them will start sleeping through the night. And if your baby isn't sleeping through the night, this is when you can start things like some sleep training. And that's whole videos, probably entire books that you could talk about sleep training. But this is when we can start trying to get them to sleep through the night instead of just passively waiting for them to sleep through the night. It's an exciting time. It's fun to watch. People ask a lot of times, how does a preemie baby developmentally figure into all this? With a baby is born preemie, to be honest, each preemie baby is different. We will usually correct for prematurity, but it's kind of weird in that we go backwards in time, but really in development, most developmental things, they should be caught up by the time they're a year old. So a preemie baby is actually behind in the beginning, but is developing faster than the other babies because they need to catch up by the time they're a year old. So whereas they may be behind 2 or 3 months when they're born, instead of them doing 12 months of development by the time they're 12 months old, a preemie baby may need to do 14 to 15 months of development. And again, there's so many factors of, how much did they weigh? How long were they in the NICU? How long did they not have time at home? How many things were attached to them? How long they were on a vent? All those things can affect development and how we feed them. So A preemie baby is not someone that you can really fit into a box. You have to fit into that preemie's box. And then we make projections based off of that particular baby. To be honest, that happens a lot with every baby. No baby fits directly in a box. And that's one of the reasons why I wrote my first parenting book, was I hated that the people would put things like, your baby at this age should do this. Well, that's not the way it works. There's a huge range of these things. So if your baby didn't do it at this time, it's okay. They could happen from this time to this time. And there's a lot of that. And each baby's different, and each person's situation and family situation is different as well. And we have to incorporate all those things in to find out, is this something that's really concerning? The important thing to know is, other than your baby looking around and interacting, there's not a lot of developmental delays that we worry about. We would worry about if your baby can't hold up their head. We would worry about if your baby doesn't have any tone in their arms and legs or any strength. Of course, we worry if your baby's not able to drink well, things like that. But as far as hard and fast, are we going to worry if our baby doesn't roll over at 4 months old? No, most babies don't. Are we going to worry about that our baby doesn't laugh at 4 months old? To be honest, most of them don't. They do somewhere between 4 and 6 months old. They should be smiling. They should be looking around. But there's not anything that we really freak out developmentally with 4 months. Hope that helps. Again, if you like this, check us out.